Warning. This video might challenge everything you think you know about success, intelligence, and what it really takes to change the world. Have you ever wondered what goes on inside the mind of a man who builds rockets, runs the world's most valuable car company, and tweets things that move markets? Elon Musk is not just a businessman or inventor. He is a psychological phenomenon. Most people look at his results, Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, XAI, and think it's about intelligence, money, or luck. But the real answer is deeper. It's about how his mind works, how he thinks, how he handles pain, risk, failure, and obsession. In this video, I'm going to break down the psychology of Elon Musk, not to worship him, but to understand him. Because if you can understand how his mind operates, you can steal the parts that actually work for normal people like us. This is not a fan video. This is a self-mastery video. By the end of this, you'll see success differently, and you might even see yourself differently. Let's begin. To understand Elon Musk's psychology, we have to go back to the beginning. Elon grew up in South Africa in the 1970s and 80s. By his own account, it was not an easy childhood. He was severely bullied, both physically and verbally. He was beaten so badly at one point that he had to go to the hospital. He described himself as a loner, a kid who didn't fit in and was often the target of groups. Most people who go through that kind of pain either break or build extreme resilience. Elon chose the latter, but the real formation came from books. From a very young age, Elon became a voracious reader. He would read for 10 hours a day, science fiction, biographies, encyclopedias, anything he could get his hands on. Two books in particular shaped him deeply. The first was The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It taught him the importance of asking the right questions and seeing the absurdity of life. The second was Isaac Asimov's Foundation series. This one planted the idea that one person or a small group could influence the long-term future of civilization. These books didn't just entertain him, they gave him a framework. The world is full of problems. Most people accept them, but a few decide to solve them on a grand scale. By his teenage years, Elon had already decided he wanted to do something meaningful with his life, something that would expand human consciousness and ensure our survival as a multi-planetary species. This early combination, severe adversity, plus intense reading, grand ambition, created the psychological foundation we see today. He learned early that pain is temporary, knowledge is power, and the future belongs to those who are willing to think in centuries, not years. Now, let's talk about the actual psychology that drives Elon Musk. There are 5 major traits that stand out. First, extremely high pain tolerance. Elon doesn't just tolerate pain, he seems to expect it. Whether it's working 120-hour weeks, sleeping on factory floors during Tesla crises, or facing relentless public criticism, he treats suffering as part of the process. Most people run from pain. He treats it as tuition. Second, first principles thinking. This is perhaps his most powerful mental tool. Instead of reasoning by analogy, this is how it's always been done. He breaks problems down to the most fundamental truths and builds up from there. It's slow, difficult, and mentally exhausting, which is exactly why so few people do it. Third, extreme ownership and accountability. Elon takes ownership at a level most leaders avoid. When something goes wrong at his companies, he doesn't blame the market, the team, or external factors first. He looks at himself. This level of radical accountability is rare and incredibly powerful. Fourth, extremely high risk tolerance. Reality distortion field. He bets enormous amounts of money and reputation on ideas most people call impossible. His reality distortion field, a term borrowed from Steve Jobs, is his ability to convince himself and others that something crazy is actually doable. This mix of vision and risk tolerance is what allows him to attempt things others won't. Fifth, work ethic and obsession. Elon's obsession is legendary. He has said he works so hard because he believes humanity's future depends on it. This level of drive borders on unhealthy, but it has produced extraordinary results. He doesn't just work hard, he works with a sense of existential urgency. Sixth, emotional control and stoicism. Despite the chaos, Elon rarely shows panic in public. He maintains a calm, almost stoic demeanor even during massive crises. This emotional control allows him to make better decisions under pressure. These traits don't exist in isolation. They work together. High pain tolerance supports the work ethic. First principles thinking supports the risk tolerance. Extreme ownership supports the emotional control. This combination is rare, and it explains why he has achieved what he has, and also why his life has come at such a high personal cost. But let's be honest. There is a dark side to this psychology. Elon Musk's mind is extraordinarily effective, but it has come at a massive personal cost. First, the burnout is real. He has openly talked about working 120-hour weeks, sleeping on factory floors, and pushing himself so hard that he has had periods of extreme exhaustion and emotional breakdown. Most humans cannot sustain that level of output without paying a heavy price. Second, the personal sacrifices. His marriages have not lasted. He has admitted to missing important moments with his children because of work. He has described his life as painful at times. The drive that allows him to achieve at this level also makes normal human relationships extremely difficult. Third, the controversies. His communication style, his tweets, his willingness to say what he thinks, even when it's unpopular or politically incorrect, has created endless backlash, legal battles, and public hatred. Some of it is justified, some of it is not. But it all comes with the territory of having this kind of mind. Here's the raw truth. Elon Musk is not a superhero. He is a highly effective but deeply flawed human being. His psychology gives him incredible leverage to change the world, but it also isolates him, exhausts him, and sometimes damages the people around him. This is the balance we must accept. You can admire the results, you can study the methods, but you should not try to copy the extremes unless you are willing to pay the same price. The question for the rest of us is not, how do I become Elon Musk? It's how do I take the useful parts of his psychology without destroying my own life in the process? That is the real challenge. So what can normal people like us actually take from Elon Musk's psychology? Here are the most practical takeaways. What to copy? 1. First principles thinking, stop reasoning by analogy. When facing a problem, break it down to the most fundamental truths and build up from there. This is one of the most powerful thinking tools you can adopt. 2. High pain tolerance. Learn to endure discomfort. Not at Elon's extreme level, but enough to stop quitting when things get hard. Small, consistent discomfort builds real strength. 3. Extreme ownership. Take full responsibility for your results. Stop blaming the market, your boss, the economy, or your circumstances. This single mindset shift is life-changing. 4. Long-term thinking. Think in decades, not days. Most people optimize for this week. Try optimizing for 10 years from now. What not to copy? 1. Extreme work hours, 120-hour weeks are not sustainable or healthy for most humans. You can work hard without destroying your health and relationships. 2. Neglecting personal life. Elon has admitted the personal cost has been high. Don't sacrifice all relationships and peace for achievement. 3. Public communication style. His unfiltered tweeting has created massive unnecessary problems. Learn to be honest without being reckless. The real lesson is balance. Take the useful parts, first principles, ownership, long-term vision, pain tolerance, and apply them at a human level. You don't need to become Elon Musk. You need to become the best version of yourself. The psychology of high achievement is not about copying one person perfectly. It's about understanding the principles and adapting them to your own life. You have everything you need to start. The only question left is, will you? Thank you for watching until the end. If this video gave you even one useful idea, comment below. I will apply this. Subscribe to Self-Mastery for more raw, honest content on psychology, mindset, and real personal growth. See you in the next video.